Hello, Sagittarius. The Sun is trine Jupiter on the 2nd, and Mars is square Jupiter on the 18th of the month. This month is going to be a month of a lot of competition and hidden treasures found. Now, let's see how your ruling planet of Jupiter affects you this month, Sagittarius. I'm Pastor Rosemary, the Astrology Angel. Thank you for joining us. This is an angelic horoscope transmission from your Sagittarius angel Adnakhiel, who resides over your mutable fire nature. And these are his messages for you in love, money, and health. First, a love transmission. When the Archangel Michael, the Archangel who rules over fire, is the guardian angel, archangel that speaks to you through the teaching angel of Adnakhiel, the teaching angel of Sagittarius. Now, when the Sun is trine Jupiter on the 2nd, that's going to give you a boost in your popularity. The 4th is a blood moon. That's right, it's a full moon in Libra, a lunar eclipse, a total lunar eclipse in Libra on the 4th, that's April 4th, 4/4 of 2015. This is the 3rd blood moon in the tetrad of blood moons. The next one, the 4th one, to happen in September of this year. This is going to be extremely important. These events are occurring. When this happens, the scales, because it's in Libra, the scales are going to need to be balanced. The 4 horsemen who ride, the one that holds the scales is the horseman who rides on the black horse. The horse who measures barley and wheat. The horse who understands the ritual of casting the oil and the wine and the corn upon the altar. So understand all of that. Now, on the 8th, there is an aspect where that's going to affect you because you're ruled by Jupiter, Sagittarius. Jupiter goes direct in Leo on the 8th. And that means that all of the kind of the energy that seemed archaic is going to become more modernized when it comes to success and when it comes to popularity. It's going to be modernized after the 8th, after Jupiter goes direct in Leo. It's very simple. And it'll stay there for several months. So you want to take advantage of that because this will cause your popularity and your success in matters of love or family or friendship or popularity to go up and to rise. Also, there is a new moon in Aries. And this new moon in Aries on the 18th, in conjunction with not a conjunct, but in association with the 18th of the month, Mars square Jupiter. That's going to cause Sagittarius to feel that they need to hold back and self-reflect on their willful nature, on the fiery aspect of their nature, and also wait until this aspect of Mars being subjugated to the will of the moon and her dark aspect till that passes. And you wait for those 3 days of darkness until the moon begins to wax again. Now, regarding Adnakhiel's money transmission, for you Sagittarius, on the Sun trine Jupiter on the 2nd, this is a great day for success. Now, the aspect that Jupiter has not yet gone direct in Leo on the 8th, you might not feel or witness the full impact of this Sun trine Jupiter on the 2nd in your financial or business success. But It doesn't mean the aspect isn't there. And that's a day when you should go ahead and use the energy of that day to your favor. Make contacts on that day. Put a good word in somebody's ear. Put a little bug in their ear so they know that you're there. And then when Jupiter goes direct in Leo on the 8th, when that happens, then these things that you've sort of let people know that you're there in matters, again, of business and finance is going to kind of begin to move forward. And Jupiter doesn't move that quickly, but it moves a lot of things. So, and it moves, it's a huge planet. And when it brings something, it brings a lot along with it. So you want to take advantage of these aspects, because the Sun and Jupiter have a very heavenly aspect together, because Leo and Sagittarius and even Pisces, these aspects with the solar Sun and the Jupiter Father, God the Father aspects, brings a lot of attributes of the heavenly and the divine with it. The Father is said to be strict, and the Sun is said to be merciful. However, the aspects of Jupiter are the merciful Father. So these things are not so strict when it comes to business, meaning that there are certain businesses that are allowed to get away with things that maybe other businesses aren't allowed to get away with. You're going to find out that life is not fair in April, Sagittarius. But you'll find out that life is not fair in a way that's so particular that God the Father actually allows each person to have what is best for them, if that makes any sense. Because each person, their genetics, their spiritual genetics, which is their astrology, and their DNA, their physical genetics, are set up to be brought their fullest happiness through certain aspects and different aspects. So what's granted to one person may not be granted to another, but then there's other areas where that person has things granted and the other person doesn't. So one has to understand and be grateful for every aspect that has been given to them. And in that way, then one sees that fairness is true. But this fairness has to go with what the entity actually is. Say you have an entity that wants to do business and they're allowed to get away with certain tax-exempt status. Well, that's perhaps because they have some status that they've already established with a nonprofit, and they've already done that. So you might find that people who have solar power or geothermal power inserted into their legislation, for example, may get more subsidies than someone who has dirtier forms of energy like coal and oil, and gas, these types of things that are more destructive to the environment. So people who are crying foul, perhaps they should have taken into account the fact that people care about the earth because they've figured out that perhaps it's more important to breathe clean air and drink clean water and eat pure foods, more important than to actually, just for the heck of it, because they think it's a cool and trendy thing to do, to make a mess and be cruel and brutal. I'm going to be cruel and brutal to the earth. I don't care about anybody. I'm so cool because I know how to hurt people and I don't care. Nobody likes that. And nobody wants that anymore. So everybody needs to understand that. And you'll do just fine. So these energy systems are important. And there's Nikola Tesla and his science that has been around forever, that finally is being allowed to be released more and more in companies that are friendly to clean energies, Tesla, companies like that. Okay. Now, for your matters of health. For your matters of health, the Sun trine Jupiter is going to give you a wonderful day for healing. Again, with this type of thing, you have to wait for all the pieces to fall into place. So you start your healing program, and don't go overboard, on the 2nd of April, when the Sun is trine Jupiter. And then, on the 18th, when you have a new moon in Aries, you'll begin to feel more calm. And that'll be a time for self-reflection. Now, Mars is going to move in to Taurus this month. So April Fool's is going to be that things are going to seem to slow down because Mars is going from where it's very comfortable in its own home of Aries, where it goes really fast and everything's all fiery and all up in arms. And it goes into Taurus now in April when things are going to be slowed down. But those slowed down aspects also bring a more solid aspect to your health goals and your financial and family goals as well. Things become more stable. They're slower, but they're more stable when Mars is transiting through Taurus in April. Now, the Sun moves into Taurus on the 21st. It moves out of Aries into Taurus. That's also going to have this similar kind of effect because the Sun is more the will of your personality and the will of your dharma, if you will, your life purpose, what you were put here to do. Your rising sign is a little bit more your personality, but your sun sign is kind of what you were put here to do. It's who you are. Now, the aspect of Mars, that is a different kind of will. It's sort of your martial will, where how you fight. Where your Mars that's how you fight. So you need to find out where someone's Mars is if you want to help them regain vitality in matters of health. If you want them to regain vitality in anything, passion and love, and vitality in money or health, then you need to find out where their Mars is, what sign they were born in their birth chart, where their Mars is. That's their martial will. What they will do when they are put to the test, what they will do in a crisis, what they will do when they really have to just no holds barred. That's it. You need to find out where their Mars is. But again, don't underestimate signs that are not fire signs, because fire signs have a tendency to underestimate water and earth. And they're stimulated by air signs. And sometimes fire signs can feel a little bit intimidated by air signs, but when you find out where a person's Mercury is, then you'll find out how they intellectually do battle and how they come up against someone intellectually. So it's important to find out where their Mercury is if you want to know how someone thinks. And that also can give you a heads up on the kind of mental capabilities someone will have. Also, you can tell by palmistry. Again, there's a great book by Moshe Zhuang called Palm Therapy, where you can actually change your fate by changing the hand. But you got to go to a certified palm therapist, because if you don't, you can get messed up. Okay. We do Hand of God palmistry. It's something that we created on our own. All right. Now, Sagittarius, for Adnakhiel's Afterglow, with the Archangel Guardian Michael overseeing, The 2nd, the Sun is trine Jupiter. On the 4th, the Moon is sextile Jupiter, and that's a blood moon in Libra, balancing the scales. On the 6th, Mercury trine Jupiter. On the 18th, Mars square Jupiter, but also a new moon in Aries on the 18th. That's an important day. On the 21st, Mercury square Jupiter, and on the 22nd, Venus sextile Jupiter. All right, Sagittarius, thank you for joining us. I'm Pastor Rosemary, the Astrology Angel, and join us again next month.